narcissistic. Narcissism. Narcissist. So, a narcissist will rearrange your words or rearrange the story to suit their needs, where it is the other person's fault. For example, you have a disagreement with somebody, with a narcissist, okay? You have a disagreement with him, and because he's yelling and screaming at you, and he walks toward you, in which you either put your arm up because of whatever reason, because he's walking toward you with aggression. So you put your arm up, and as you're putting your arm up to like protect your own self, you bump him, or you push his arm away, whatever it may be. Later on that night, after you process the information and you want to talk about it, and you bring it up and ask why he was being so aggressive, he will say, I wasn't being aggressive. You were the one that hit me. You hit me. Which is partially truthful, but not at all. And the intent, me, let's say me, I was just putting my arms up because of, to not get hit, and I bumped him. He turned it into, I was the one who was being aggressive because I hit him. But really, that wasn't even relevantly close to what had happened. So, for somebody like me, who is absolutely non-aggressive, but I have this demeanor of, because I have strong words, because I believe in what I say, some people, him, didn't like being called out on his stuff, or didn't like his girlfriend defending themselves with words instead of aggression. So I'm going to talk about my dad. My dad, he was a great man. He was the kindest man. He was the most loving man. Strong, silent type. Reminded me of like Clint Eastwood, John Wayne. He drank a lot, but he worked just as hard. He deserved to do whatever he'd like, right? He took care of my mom. He took care of her family. It was his second wife. Not only did he raise and take care of his first wife and their family and created a family with her. Sadly, she passed away, and he raised all of those kids. They weren't kids, I don't think. But there was like 20 of them. No, I'm just kidding. But it seemed like it. He was never Never loud. Not even when he drank. He would sing to my mom. He'd go to work every day, every morning. At 5 o'clock, they would wake up. Both of them. My mom would wake up with him every day. Make him lunch, coffee, do whatever, send him off. Send him off to work. She would get us up and do whatever, right? My dad came into my life like when I think I was like 8 or 9. And he was the first real man that I was introduced to. He taught me so many things. One thing that he taught me was that I could use my voice. You don't have to hit anybody because of you're not liking what they say. Everybody has an opinion to whatever it is they feel or think or whatever. Doesn't mean that you have to hit them because of. My dad taught me how to build relationships, long lasting. My parents were great parents. They were older. They were my grandparents, really. My birth mother, she was only 50 when she got pregnant with me. She was 16 when she had me. And that was way too young, obviously, right? So her mom stepped up so that she could finish high school and have a life, which she ultimately did, but she had another child 2 years later and then got married. Not saying anything bad about her decisions because that's not my path to walk, that's hers. I was good where I was. I didn't even know she was my mom until I was around 8. My mom, my grandma, my mom, one day she says to me, oh, and you have to call her mom too. Can you imagine? The confusion. When I was in elementary school, we were doing the family tree stuff. How the hell did I write that? My birth mom and her husband. Her husband wasn't the nicest guy to me. Well, neither was she really. Because it was like I was an absolute outsider. Everywhere I went, it was like I didn't belong. Which was difficult growing up. Not knowing where you belong. Because my brother, who I was raised with, really my uncle, Buck, that was my mom's son. I don't recall really many birthdays, like my own. But I was the kind of kid that was okay with any of it. I wasn't a needy kid. I didn't need a lot. I understood quite early that you can't always get what you want. Which was okay. At least I had somewhere to sleep, right? Some food to eat. before my dad came, my mom, she was single. My grandma, my mom, she was single. She was a single mom. She worked hard. I remember this one time. There wasn't anything for breakfast, and we had school. And I could tell my mom was upset, but I didn't know why. I realized years later why. Because that morning we didn't have any breakfast, but we had toast and tea, in which I thought that was the cat's ass. I didn't even think that we didn't have food. It didn't even cross my mind. I thought we were so grown up because we got to have tea and toast for breakfast. But meanwhile, my mom was so upset. She worked so hard. And we didn't even have anything to eat. She didn't know that we didn't know. Or maybe Buck knew, but I didn't. So, growing up, my mom, she was quite the churchgoer. She was a lady who was well known in the community, who spent a lot of time doing a lot of things for others. And I was just little. I was like wee little. And of course I had to go with her, right? Which I met a lot of elders in the community, in which ultimately, as years went by, they still remember me. They are I'm very respectful to them, for them. I was raised that way, right? You know, if somebody's standing, you give them your chair. If they ask you to get them something, you go and get it for them. If you hold the door for somebody, you know, you should hold the door for somebody when they're coming in. Take your hat off when you're eating. Don't smack your food when you're eating. Don't smack your mouth when you're eating. You know, manners.